Running your own real estate investment business can be stressful, time-consuming, and difficult to manage. Where do you start? Why go out and try and reinvent the wheel when we have the answer? With our exclusive training program, we will teach you how to free up your time to build your business, develop your goals, learning where to find the money, how to find better deals, keeping track of offers, building a team, and developing a business plan that works for you. We at Real Impact Real Estate Training and Mentoring have all the answers for you. We have several plans to help you get your business to the next level. We have developed the best one-on-one personal training system in the industry. We have a proven structure that has been developed for more than 50 years through the purchase and sales of thousands of homes and commercial properties. We will help you set up and build your real estate investment business. Whether you are new to investing or you are a seasoned professional, we have a plan for you to customize your business to a method that works, is affordable, and fits your budget. With training modules like finding money, finding deals, learning how to get correct comps, building a team, short sales, subject twos, foreclosures, making multiple offers, understanding auctions, REOs, and tax sales, working to build your construction team, and finding sellers and buyers. Find your property management team, plus over 70 additional training modules to choose from. Sit down with us for a one-on-one consulting to see what training plan is best to develop your goals and to build your business by using the 5 M's of investing: mining, money, maintenance, marketing, and management. Wouldn't your life be great if you can live it on your own terms? We help you develop and structure your business to take massive action. Join the Real Impact Real Estate Training today. Change your life today with real estate investing.
Hi there. Excuse me. Hi there. I'm Roger Pasco, CEO of Real Impact Training Systems. You know, if you've not been on this call before, we do this every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. Almost every Sunday night, unless there's a Super Bowl or holiday up. But we do this every Sunday night, and we are at Real Impact. We change people's lives through real estate investing. So we have several locations throughout Texas and even one in Oklahoma. Real Impact provides you as a local real estate investor the networking and educational meetings that you need to help build your business. All of our locations are privately owned by franchises, and they're all seasoned investors in this business. So we at Real Impact Master Trainers, they're Impact Master Trainers. We call them IMTs for short. So in addition to our monthly meetings and our workshops, our IMTs also offer a variety of one-on-one mentoring programs that can help you no matter where you're at in your personal real estate journey. So if you're interested in learning more about our training options, please reach out to one of our Impact Master Trainers. We have several on the call tonight, and you can find an IMT. But if you want to find the IMT locations, you can get that information off of our website, realimpacttraining.com. Just click on the locations button in the middle of the screen. There's the link right there. So that will get you. You can find our meetings. You can find our locations. You can reach out and get impact contact information for each of our IMTs that are out there. So just in a couple of minutes, we're going to bring on our IMTs, and we're going to be going over our meeting tonight. Tonight's meeting is putting together a great team. You can't do this business without having a team put together. So with that, our producer and back guy in the background, CJ, if you can go ahead and start putting our IMTs on, I'll introduce them. And that is Karen Maxwell. She's Impact Plano, and she is also Impact in sales for new locations and new franchise owners. And then we have Tim. I'm mistaking you for your son. I'm sorry. Tim and Gabi Lockhart. They're Impact Wichita Falls and Denton, Texas. And then we have Eric Short, which is Impact Grand Prairie, South Dallas. So welcome on the call tonight, everybody. And we've got a great call because this is what we do every day is we help, we help others, but we also build our own team, but we also help others on building their team. So thank you for being on here tonight, everybody.
Thank you for having us.
Nice, good to be here.
All right, good deal. Good deal. So let's go ahead and kick this off. Let's go ahead and throw our slideshow up there. And once again, putting together a great team. So you can't do this business without that. So Tim, why don't you talk to us about building relationships with investor-friendly realtors?
Okay, thank you, Roger. Well, first, I'd like to say that having a business as a real estate investor is one of the few businesses that I know of that you can have a lot of people work for you that you don't even have to pay. Some of them you don't pay at all, and some of them just get paid out of the deal. So like, a title company, is going to do all the contract and everything, and they're going to get paid out of the deal. But if you are a buyer, then the realtor is paid by the seller. So that's somebody that's out there and finding deals for you, and there's somebody that somebody else pays to do that service for you. So isn't that cool? We'll get people to work for you, bring you deals, and you don't even have to pay them. But how do you get a realtor to do that? If you just call a broker's office and get the person that's doing the floor duty, answering the floor calls that come in, and you say, "Hi, I am Tim. I'm a real estate investor. Can you help me find some properties?" And they're probably not going to be very excited. And they're going to think, "Oh, okay, here's somebody who's going to waste a lot of my time. They're never going to make any offers. If they do make an offer, it's going to be so low, I'm going to be embarrassed. And it's going to ruin my credibility. And so I don't even want to continue this conversation." And the reason that you're getting that reaction, which is probably something that, if you've been doing this, that's probably a conversation that you've had. The problem with that approach is that it's the wrong script. If you call and you talk to a realtor and you say, "Hi, I am Tim. I represent a group of investors who have cash and can close quickly. And this is what I'm looking for," and be very specific with the criteria so that they can actually search and find something that meets that criteria, then they're going to be very happy to help you. And that could be a start of a long relationship. So, have to have the right script, and that's it. You represent a group of investors who have cash and can close quickly. And that is true, even if you're just starting and have not bought a house before. Because if you plug into your local Real Impact meeting, there's going to be plenty of people there who will be buyers for you.
Absolutely. We always give a portion of our time during our meetings for any of our attendees that have a deal that they need to pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And we give them 30 seconds up in front of the group to do that. And we had a couple of guys this past weekend that had some deals, so it was great. Mm-hmm. And deals have been made at our meetings. So definitely do that, pitch that. Mm-hmm. And if you're a realtor that works with investors, make sure you attend these real estate investor meetings, because those real estate investors are looking for someone like you. It's real estate investors are different than working with a home buyer that's going to buy one house every so many years. So we like to buy more than one.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
There
All
you
right.
go. And that is so true, Tim, on all that, and working with investor friendly realtors and knowing how to do that. So thank you for that insight on making that happen.
Sure.
All right. So Gabi and Tim both own some lending companies. They have various different ways uh, doing of offering lending to investors. Gabi just closed on a couple of mine just this last couple of weeks, I guess,
Yeah,
last few weeks, and I think she's working on one or two for Linda Jean, my wife, and they're incredible. They have all kinds of lending. So, Gabi, let's talk about um, identifying local banks and lenders and building that relationship with them.
it is really important that you have your loan officer, either if it's by the bank or credit union or whatever, or if it's a broker. I'm a broker. It's important that you have a good relationship and tell them exactly what your goals are and what you want to do and what you want to achieve and how much money you have for down payments and what you're looking for, because then they can tailor the loan to you, and not guess and waste time on finding out how they can get you the best program. Sometimes the bank is a better option for the lower end loans, sometimes not. Sometimes the broker is a better option, but you have to have that relationship with multiple banks and lenders. I had a deal this week. It didn't work for me, so I called my friend at the bank, and he was like, "Well, honestly, Gabi, this is not a good deal for you or for me, but it's a good deal for this one other bank." And so sometimes it's easier to acknowledge that that it's not a good thing for you, but you have to have that relationship with the other lenders. For me personally, it's important to have that in that I can just make a phone call to somebody else and say, "Hey, who would you refer, or who is good for this deal?" But then also he calls me and said, "Hey, I cannot help this person. Can you help that person?" So you have to, when you find a bank, ask them, "Do you have other people that you work with and that you refer people out to? And how many loan programs do you have? This is what I want to do. This is what I'm looking for. Can you handle this? And do you have more than one loan program for that particular, like the DSCR loan? It's one popular loan that's coming around. Well, how many brokers do you have? And
Tell them what DSCR stands for.
we can do that, yes. You want to say it?
It's a debt service coverage ratio, DSCR.
And it's based on your rental income. It's not about your your personal finance. But those programs are based basically. So some of them they go down to 100,000. Some they start by 150. Other ones start by 200,000. But you need to know which loan program would work. And sometimes it likes a certain criteria of a buyer, and some it does not. But your loan officer needs to know what fits you and which one fits you. So that's really important that you build that relationship, have a one-on-one with your loan officer and say, "This is what I want. Can you help me?" And sometimes you have to shop around for a while.
Absolutely, and Gabi, if you can kind of go over why we talk about working with local banks or local relationships versus non-local relationships. We gotta, I get emails and messages and everything else on these people that say I can lend money, and they just wind up being a scam. They're just from another part of the universe, and they a lot of times they'll ask for money in advance. What are your thoughts on that?
You should never ask for money in advance. Everything should be closing through the title company. That's the one big rule. Never put money down with anybody who says they can provide you money. That's a big no. That's a big red flag. The local community, like if you are closing a loan in somebody that can maybe do the loan in California, but honestly, um, I'm not familiar with California. I do not know what the taxes are. I don't know what those things are. And in this case, I'm not a good fit for you. It's just you have to know your local market, and you need to know or at least you have to have the resource to talk to somebody.
Mhm.
Like if I close something in Lindell or in down in Houston, I need to rely on the person that I can say, hey, I need to at least know that things are different there, and I need to find out what is the taxes, how they calculate it, what is the insurance, especially on the coast. There's a different insurance required than up here in Wichita Falls. It's just you really need to know your local community. That's really important.
And for a traditional mortgage, as a not private money lending or hard money lending, but a traditional mortgage, um, those mortgage companies have to be licensed in Texas to do a Texas loan, or Oklahoma to do an Oklahoma loan, right?
That is correct. Yeah, you should go to a licensed loan officer. It's called a residential mortgage loan originator, not a registered mortgage loan originator. There's a little bit of difference. Same R, but different. And it makes a huge difference because they have more options for you. Like I had a loan, I sent it off to one bank and this underwriter didn't like it. And what I did, I said, okay, you don't like it. I called the other account executives that I'm working with, said, do you like this loan? This is my criteria. And I was just able to move banks, investors for us. And we closed the loan out and it was fine. You just have to have really a good relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it just, like I said, I have students come to me on a pretty regular basis,
Hmm.
and they're like, well, this person will find me money, but I have to send them $500
No,
before they will find me money.
no, never.
And yeah, and those are the ones you stay away from. So, if somebody's asking for money in advance, and I'm telling you, on my Facebook groups that I have for the different areas that we work in, um, I get dozens of requests every week
We
from
reject
people that
them.
are trying to loan money that, for most of the time, you can tell they're probably not lenders. They're just fishing for getting somebody to send them a check for $500.
Right.
Everything needs to close at a title company. Everything.
Yes, absolutely. Never close at McDonald's, right?
Mm.
Unless you're buying a McDonald's, and that's a different story. There you go.
Yeah, then
I've
have
had,
a way.
I've had them try to, not me personally, but other people I've worked with. Gabi and I were working with one last year that two different scammers were trying, he got all the way through the application process and the guy was like, congratulations. All you got to do is wire $13,000 into this account. We're going to hold that for security in case if you don't pay the loan back. But I'm like, no, you don't ever do that. And there were a couple different ones. And so I finally just said, look, you need to talk with Gabi. And there were other issues, but I'm like, look, you need to talk to a live company, like not one of these scammers. So
Right.
Absolutely.
And
definitely
if
have
I
to do
Absolutely.
your
cannot
due
help you,
diligence.
if I cannot help you, I can definitely refer you to somebody who can.
And that's what we're looking for when we build a team. You want a team member out there that it's just not going to stop with them. They're gonna say, there might be a better way to do this.
Right.
This isn't what I specialize in. If somebody calls me up and they say, I want a 250 unit apartment complex, can Tim and I write that offer because Tim's a realtor too? Absolutely, we can write that up. We know how to do the documents, but we're not in that community. We're not associated with that. That's not what we do on a daily basis.
Right.
And we would love to get the commission off that, but at the same time, we're not doing a good justice for the client that we're working with. So thank you
That's
so much for that insight on the money end of it and working with banks and lenders and how that works. If anybody wants to know more about that, just feel free to reach out to us and we can get you some information in detail. So Karen,
Yes.
when you reach out to contractors, how do you find a contractor and who do you work with?
I work. So it's really funny. Number one, I go to my local group, my community, the network that I built. I've been doing this for 8 years. I think we're coming up on 9 years, and I just have a large database of people. I don't need the hardwood floor guy every month. I may need him every 2 or 3 years because I don't refinish hardwood floors on the regular. But when I do, I know which guy that I'm calling because I have him saved, and I'm just really good at retaining that. If I meet somebody, I will ask what they do, and if they provide a service that I may need at any point in the future, I will put them in my phone. I will make some notes about them, and I will save them in my phone as what they do and where they're located. Because I've been in multiple markets, I don't want to be calling someone in Dallas that for a house in East Texas. Although my foundation guy did go to he will go to East Texas for me, because he knows that if he goes there and gives me a good bid, he will go to the store and I will write him the check for the deposit. He will go to the store and get the materials that he needs, come back, get the job done, and then load up his crew and go home after getting final payment. I mean, it's done that day. Sometimes it takes 2 days, but that's just part of knowing people and knowing my network. And I'm always asking people, what do you do? What else do you do? Because it's amazing. We're putting this expo together, and I started talking to a lot of our attendees that they're also investors, but they also have their niche, something that they do, that they provide a service to other investors. So I gave them that opportunity to come and okay, I saw a comment. I just want to make sure I didn't miss a question. Hey, Richie. Hey, Catherine and Matt. But whenever I'm out and about, if I see a contractor vehicle driving by, I'll snap a picture. Well, not while I'm driving, but usually at a stop sign, at a red light, I'll snap a picture. I'll do my best to kind of stay beside it, especially if it's like I've needed irrigation work before. Matter of fact, I was going to Dennis's office, and he mentioned that he needed to call an irrigation company, and he was getting the information from Eric as a referral. And I happened to pass a vehicle on my way, and I was like, oh, I need to make note of that phone number. So I saved in my phone, snap a picture, save it in my phone so that I would have it. I've been at McDonald's and coming out of the restroom, and there was a group of men there with a renovation company van, and stopped and talked with them. We exchanged business cards, and I invited them to come to a local meeting. That way they can network, because sometimes contractors don't know how important it is for them to get out there and network. And, we, in our line of business, we network all the time. And for contractors, they think that people just should know who they are. And you can't just meet somebody one time and expect them to remember you. You have to stand out. You have to be memorable, and you have to keep coming back consistently. And I ask other people for referrals. I ask my title company if I need like a survey quickly. Hey, do you have anybody on standby that can get out there quickly? Like, we need to get this done.
Hey, Karen, do you ever call off somebody advertising on TV that you can get they'll sell you an air conditioner at 50% off?
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I like people that I love Amazon, don't get me wrong, but there are certain things, like I have to be in the store to try clothes on. I have to touch the material. I have to, wear it around the store, make sure the shoes fit correctly. I'm that way too with my contractors. I really need to be able to meet them first, so I can, number one, eliminate like the creepy vibes, or the scam vibes, especially if you ask someone to come over and give you an estimate and they don't show up. And so then you call someone else and then they don't show up, call someone else and they don't show up. Look at all that time you wasted. I'm going to reach out to my network and say, hey, I need a septic tank looked at. Who can I call? Well, I have an uncle that does that, so I would know who to call, but that was just an example. I'm going to reach out to people for referrals if I don't have anybody, or if I've already called all of mine and they can't get to it, or, what have you. But, and also if I refer somebody out, I will be dead honest. And I will say, I've never used them before, but I have them in my phone. Make sure that you let me know what your experience with them is, because if they don't have a good experience, I don't want to continue referring someone out. Wow. And I would never lie and say, oh yeah, I use this guy all the time, give him a call. And he calls and he doesn't know who I am because I've never used him. But I'm just really good at, keeping up with all those phone numbers. And I know Gabi and I talk a lot, and she's like, who was the guy that you referred to me with blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I have no idea. because that's not my thing. I refer to her. And so sometimes I do forget. If everybody that you refer goes to that one person, then it's like I don't have to remember who I referred to who.
There you go. There you go.
I love working with Gabi because she's got that finesse between knowing, oh, that will work for this, that will work for this. I've got these programs, I've got these two to choose from, I've got these, or that won't work. So she's just very knowledgeable on that. So
now, when you're working with a painter, for instance, do you use a different painter for every job you do, or do you try to use the same guy?
I try to use the same guy because they know what kind of quality I expect, and I don't have as many issues. Anytime we've gotten new ones, I've had ones that have tried to water the paint down to make that last bit last a little longer, and now it's a different color. I've had ones that wanted to use their own paint, and then they went and touched up with a different sheen, and it had to be repainted. Yeah. So it's just easier if I'm in charge of that. Like, this is my color, this is where I get it from, this is what I want you to do, and they just know. And they know that I'm going to come back with my blue tape and I'm going to have it all over the walls, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I was going to get to that. Yeah, I know you were, but I just want to make sure you don't forget. And if this big piece of blue tape is there, you won't forget.
Want to make sure that you know that I know. Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. There you go. So contractors are huge in this business, and listen to what Karen said, because that's what you do.
Yeah. And if they ever do me wrong or don't do what they say they're going to do, or if there's a bad report on Facebook, if someone, says, hey, this contractor never has come back and finished work for me, that puts up a red flag for me. Doesn't mean that I would not use them or give them a chance if it was something that I really needed done. But if they're having trouble with other people, I might be a little bit leery. But I've also had people that did very good work for me that somebody else had a bad experience with, and you don't always know both sides of the story. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Thank you so much. Now, there's lots of other people you need on your team. So, and we got a short list coming up on this next slide of people in there. And, I'm going to talk a little bit about real estate attorney, and then Eric and I are going to bounce this back and forth. But a real estate attorney, where do you find a real estate attorney? You find them at a title company. Okay. You want an attorney that is specialized in real estate, because that's what we do. It's just like I was talking about a while ago on realtors. You could call me up and want me to represent you on a 250 unit apartment complex. Could I do it? Yeah, I could do it, but I don't have the team in place that you may need to make that deal happen. But do I know people, like Gabi said a while ago, do I know people that can do that? Yes, I do. But on a real estate attorney, you really need to work with a real estate attorney and not that traffic attorney or that defense attorney. Okay. Or that general business attorney. You need to work with a real estate attorney. Every title company has one. And that's part of the relationships that you build, is you build a great rapport with the title company, and it will come back to you 100-fold, because they will just take care of things that need to be taken care of, and make that happen. So real estate attorney is very important. Do I need to use one every month? No. I might need some advice from a real estate attorney about once every 3 years, but I'm going to use their title company on other things that I do. Okay. So Eric, talk to us about accountant and CPA. I know that you were using Don or Richard,
yes,
retired, but how does that help your business?
Well, it's one of those things where if you don't have the expertise in it, you could do it. But if you can find someone, if you can hire someone that can do it better, faster, and cheaper than you can, then that frees you up to do the things that they don't want to do, like look for houses, look for tall weeds in the neighborhood. So finding someone who is specifically an accountant keeps me from having to do it. It's very important that they do the things better, faster, and cheaper than I can.
Right. And in like Richard's case, and I don't know who you use now, but I know you were using Richard. He's also an investor. He knows the ins and outs.
Well, he just retired too, so he referred me to another one.
Gotcha. Good deal. Okay, good deal.
He was great. He was great.
So, and then we jump down here to RMLO and a servicer. Now, this type of RMLO is different than what Gabi was saying earlier. This would be like if you're going to do a wrap or if you're going to do an owner finance. The RMLO is the company or the people that will write up your loan documents for you. Why would you want to write up your own loan documents if you're not a lender, if you're not trained in that? You don't.
Exactly.
So I know people that try to do that all the time.
Oops, I missed a box. Don't want to do that.
And maybe they're not filing correctly. Maybe they don't do it correctly. And then if things go upside down, the judge is going to look at you and say, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Yeah. I'm going to call in favor of the other party. So, and a servicer is somebody that will collect your monthly payment from your buyer. They're not a property manager. They're not they're not somebody out there with a rent house. If you're owner financing the house or once again doing a wrap, they're the people that collect the money every single month. They produce all the IRS documents that you need on a yearly basis, and your buyer needs, the buyer of the property needs. They report to the credit bureau, and they send out the nasty notes if the payment is late, which is really worthwhile. And they collect the late charges, and it takes you out of the loop. No longer can that buyer come to you and give you a sob story about how their grandmother died for the 5th time this year, and that's kind of what we get with tenants on a somewhat basis. So you will need to make sure that you're working with a good RMLO and a good servicer for when you do those. Now, where do you find those? You're going to find those by reaching out to any of our Impact Master Trainers, any of our IMTs, and that's who we work with on an ongoing basis. We have a great relationship with several RMLOs and servicers throughout our area, and they know who to work with.
And we can find someone near you for your convenience as well.
That's right, absolutely. So, Eric, you've had a couple of homes inspected. You've had some stuff done. How valuable is somebody coming in to tell you what's wrong with the house?
Super, super important. If you can get a head start on anything that may be of concern for you as a buyer, and before you actually have moved in or taken possession of the house, so that it can be remedied before you have to move on it yourself. If the seller is made aware of it, well, look, my home inspector pointed out this mold. Maybe you didn't know about it, but it's here and I can't buy this house unless you have it remedied. That puts it on the seller rather than yourself. Saves you a lot of time, a lot of effort. Again, home inspectors, you run across 1 or 2 or 3. Once you find a really good one, you want to keep hold of those and keep them in your Rolodex. Go ahead and Google Rolodex and see what you come up with. Home inspectors, a good friend of mine used to be a realtor, and he chose to become a home inspector, and he found it to be very rewarding. I would not want to be a home inspector. I am a real estate investor, so I refer to him, who does it better, faster, and cheaper than I could.
Absolutely.
Home inspection is super important.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can't tell you the number of times I've seen investors get houses and all of a sudden they have all these surprises come up. These home inspectors are going into homes several times a week, sometimes several times a day, and they know what to look for. They know the telltale signs that where, I may not be able to see that. I may not notice that. I might not even pay attention to how that is. And they're looking at it saying, okay, what caused this? And it could be this and this and this, because I've run into this before.
Yeah, I may
have never run into it.
I might not even know to look behind the water heater, or I might not even know to look around the corner of, behind that, there's a valve that controls it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, we talk about title companies. I talked about that a while ago with the real estate attorney. You want to build that great relationship with a title company, because they are just going to save you a ton of money in the long run. But then insurance agents are very important in this business, because they're your advocate. They're on your side. They're kind of in between the insurance company and you. and they're wanting to help you out as much as possible. So you want to work out, you want to find a great insurance agent to work with. You want to be very, very understanding of what their job is. And you want an insurance agent that can think outside the box and say, well, maybe you don't need to be insured for this, but you definitely need to be insured for this, and they're gonna get the right information to you, and like I said, you're just gonna need to build that relationship with the insurance agent. Now we have a ton more that we work with. Now, as a trainer, we have a sheet that we work with our students on, and it's a very long 8.5 by 11 sheet, and it's probably got 30 or 40 different service or different team members that you need on your team that's in that list, and you write that down and you put those numbers and that contact in your phone and you build those relationships. So like I said, this is a team. Building your team is imperative to you running a smooth business. I'm sure I'm sure everybody on this call, we get phone calls from other investors. We get phone calls from people wanting to be investors, and they're in a bind. Oh my gosh, my rent house, I've got a rent house and my toilet overflowed. What do I do now? And I just had that happen on one of my houses. $2,000 later, I'm getting that taken care of. I know that Tim and Gabi had a sewer situation on one of their houses last year, and it happens. But you know what? I was able to call the water team, whatever you want to call it, United. I've got a great relationship with the guy that owns that and his sons that run the company. And they were able to get out there within less than 2 hours. They were able to save the carpets. We were able to dry everything out over the weekend, and they came in and put all the carpets back in, and we got it taken care of. I reached out at the same time to a plumber. The plumber came out and removed the soft clog, is what he called it. But he removed it, and so your team members that are on your team are invaluable. And you know what? That stuff never, ever happens on Monday morning.
That's
ever.
right.
It happens on Friday after 5.
That's exactly right.
Or it happens on, Thanksgiving Day Eve, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, at 9:00 at night.
Oh, sure.
And it just happens.
I had a garage door situation happen. And because I've been in touch with this installer through his son went to school with my son. We were on the same soccer team. We got to know each other. You never know where you're going to meet these people on your team. And because I've known him for 10, 12 years, I called him up. I have a garage door someone backed into. I really need something to be replaced immediately. And he was able to do it within 24 hours.
There you go. So building your team is imperative in this business, and you want to make sure you've got that rolling. So with that, if you need more information on any part of this team building, reach out to anybody that's an IMT. You definitely want to be connected to your local REI group. IMPACT, we hold our meetings every month at every location. We all have different meetings going on every month. We don't, we normally don't have the same meeting happening on that. We do special occasions. We have Randy Hughes coming in on Land Trust coming in May, and we'll be talking more about that in the next few calls. But Karen and
Yes.
Gabi, you have a expo coming up.
Yes, we do.
What is that? Tell us about it.
Well, what we're doing is basically very much like what we're talking about right now. Gabi and I talk every morning, and we're always in our conversations. It's always talking about this person. We need to call this person, or hey, your person needs to call this person. Oh, I've got someone for that. Oh, I've got someone for that. So we do very well bouncing people off of each other and adding them to our network, to our teams. But again, you don't always need that person. You don't, if you haven't done a wrap, You don't need that note servicer. If you haven't bought a property subject to, you don't need that education. I mean, you do need it, but you're not using it yet until it actually happens. And then, oh my gosh, who was that lady that I talked to at the meeting that does whatever it was you needed, that does the note servicing, that does the special insurance, all these kind of things. And you don't think about it. I mean, at the time you're like, oh, that's great, I'm going to remember you, but then you forget. So what we're doing is we are having a 2-day expo in March. It's going to start on Friday, March the 3rd at 5:30, and it's going to go till 9. And then on Saturday, March the 4th, that's actually 8 to 5. I'm sorry, I messed that one up. But anyway, so we're going to be meeting from 8 to 5 on Saturday. But what we're doing is we're having different people come in, the people that you need on your team, to give a 30-minute presentation as to what they do, why the real estate investor needs them on their team, and how you can get a hold of them. Then they're going to go back and they're going to sit at their table, and you can go speak to them one-on-one, find out more about them, ask questions of anything in specific that you want to ask. And we're just going to do that all day. And it's just going to be a lot of team building. Sometimes you don't even know that there is a service that is out there for you. You think that you have to do it all on your own. And we're actually running a promotion during this call. Actually, we're going to leave it up till midnight tonight, that we're going to offer you $150 off if you buy your ticket today. So the tickets are $197, and with the promo code, which the promo code is YES for yes. So if you'll scan the QR code or visit our website, CJ, can you make sure that website gets posted in the comments on YouTube, please? If you'll go to our website, you can click on Get Your Ticket Now, enter your promo code. If you're on your cell phone, you may have to click Details to get the drop down to come to let you put in your promo code. But if you'll put the promo code YES, we'll give you $150 off your ticket and get you in for $47. And then we'll see you in March. Gabi, you want to talk about any of the people that we have coming that that they're going to be very valuable to us?
Well, we're going to have several people coming, actually. We have an accountant coming who is very knowledgeable on how you can save money by doing taxes with him. Because he can go back 3 years and see that he can still save you some extra money. And I'm really excited about him to come on board. Then we have insurance. We have some property management companies coming in, some contractors. It's all people that you need to talk with. And I mean, they might not be a fit for you, but they may have a nugget that they are talking about that you go like, never thought about it, that I could use something like that. You're going to learn a lot of things. There's a lot of great information. What we are putting together is basically how you can be successful for the future and have the right team, that you build your dream team. And maybe next year it's going to be even better. But we're going to do it once a year at least. And we are looking forward to seeing you there.
Yes, absolutely. When I was talking with, we had Casey Smith talking yesterday with Atlas Transaction Coordination, and she brought up a good point. Someone asked her from the audience, why would I pay you to do what I can already do, or what somebody in my office can do? And her point was, when you are at the point where you can do, when that you can do it, like you're doing it enough that you're really good at it and you can just, knock it out with no problem, that's fine. But there are people out there that need just this part, just this one time, or just every 6 months. And it would be difficult to keep somebody in your office employed and keep them busy enough to constitute doing that. And then are they going to do it right? I mean, did that person in your office that you're paying $10 an hour remember to get the 1099s out about the interest paid for your owner finance deals, or, whatever it may be? There's like with Eric saying that he was working with his investor friendly, the investor that's also his accountant. I think it was Roger that mentioned that. That's so important, because if someone is already an investor, they're doing what you're doing. They're really good at saying, hey, have you tried this? hey, have you tried this? You know what? You need to go spend this much because you have this this income, this profit that you need to invest. And they're just good at it. That's their strength. So let's let them use their strength to save us time, save us money. Yeah, we're going to have to pay them for it, but it's a cost of doing business.
Well, the
And
other thing is also what's important is if you use somebody who is specializing in something and you need something very unique, you don't have to sit there for hours and find out how that unique problem that you have to resolve. You pick up the phone and say, hey, take it over and be done and over with it. And they're going to knock it out in an hour, which is still going to take you maybe 2 days, and it's a waste. And you can
still may not do it right.
Yes, correctly. Because I mean, I'm working on a deal right now, and I finally had to call my process and say, okay, how in the world am I going to handle that? Because it's just because we know the underwriter's going to ask for it. So we're going to knock it out ahead of time.
Right.
And it's just, they know it better. They know how to get the answer that you and I don't know. And somebody else doesn't know. So use the expertise. Use the expertise of other people. They know why they are doing it, and they saw it as a niche program and as a problem-solving skill, and that's important. Use them.
Absolutely.
Well, you're gonna have the team there. I mean, you're gonna have various people you can put on your team that's gonna be at the expo. That's what it is, the dream team.
Right.
It's to build your team. So you want to be there, and there is a discount code tonight that is YES, YES. You want to use that. You want to. I think you also have a couple of sponsor tables left. That if they're interested in that, they can reach out.
Yep. Give me a
know,
call.
the website is Simple Automated Automation Follow Up. Is that right?
Yep. SimpleAutomationFollowUp.com.
Yep. And then is there a link on that main page to go to the expo?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So, well, it's on this page. So on the menu at the top, it says building your REI dream team. And whenever they go there, you can go there and buy your tickets. Or if you're interested in sponsoring, you can also hit the sponsor button and it'll take you to that information. And I'd like to bring out, if you have a business that you would like to promote during that by sponsoring, you're going to be there. So you're already going to have that ticket. So the sponsorship would be tax deductible, and you get to come and not only network and sell your own business, but to be able to network with the other investors and learn from them as well.
There you go. All right. So thank you so much for everybody being on this building your team call tonight. And it falls right into the dream team of what we've got coming up on March the 3rd and March the 4th. Next week, we will not be having a call because the Cowboys are not going to the Super Bowl, So that is the reason we're not going to have a call. Is no Cowboys at the Super Bowl. They'll just be watching it at the Super Bowl. Watching it at home. Same as we do. Same as all of us. But we will be having a meeting on the Sunday after that. That's going to be on February the 19th. And we're going to talk to you about how to find money in this business. So this is what we do.
Favorite topic.
It is. It's and money's easy to find in this business if you're responsible and you show others that you're going to be responsible with their money. It's pretty simple because it's being based on the value of the real estate you're working with. So other than that, thank you all for being on here. Karen, Gabi, Tim, Eric, thank you so much for being on here tonight.
Thank you.
We're going to wrap it up so we can get on with our day.
All right, everybody, go have a good evening.
All right, good deal. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Finding the money.
Bye.
Thanks, CJ.
See you tomorrow.
Running your own real estate investment business can be stressful, time-consuming, and difficult to manage. Where do you start? Why go out and try and reinvent the wheel when we have the answer? With our exclusive training program, we will teach you how to free up your time to build your business, develop your goals, learning where to find the money, how to find better deals, keeping track of offers, building a team, and developing a business plan that works for you. We at Real Impact Real Estate Training and Mentoring have all the answers for you. We have several plans to help you get your business to the next level. We have developed the best one-on-one personal training system in the industry. We have a proven structure that has been developed for more than 50 years through the purchase and sales of thousands of homes and commercial properties. We will help you set up and build your real estate investment business. Whether you are new to investing or you are a seasoned professional, we have a plan for you to customize your business to a method that works, is affordable, and fits your budget. With training modules like finding money, finding deals, learning how to get correct comps, building a team, short sales, subject twos, foreclosures, making multiple offers, understanding auctions, REOs, and tax sales, working to build your construction team, and finding sellers and buyers. Find your property management team, plus over 70 additional training modules to choose from. Sit down with us for a one-on-one consulting to see what training plan is best to develop your goals and to build your business by using the 5 M's of investing: mining, money, maintenance, marketing, and management. Wouldn't your life be great if you can live it on your own terms? We help you develop and structure your business to take massive action. Join the Real Impact Real Estate Training today. Change your life today with real estate investing.